This is the FitFemmes movement. Have you felt overwhelmed with your fitness journey and feel like you just want to give up? Are you a busy female professional or entrepreneur looking for weight loss and self-care solutions that you can squeeze into your hectic schedule? Then you're in the right place. Let's get inspired to make fitness and healthy living improve rather than consume your life. Together, we'll take major strides towards a happier, healthier, even wealthier you. I'm Julia Hickman, your host and coach.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us here today. I'm here with Gina Bell. I can't wait to tell you guys about her. But really quick, if you are catching this live stream right now and you are new to me, I'm Julia Hickman. I am the owner and founder of the Fashionista online studio, where I help busy career women and entrepreneurs make fitness improve rather than consume their lives. I help them make time for themselves, make time to get strong, to get as fit as possible without crazy restrictions or fad diets. I'm also the creator of this podcast that you might be listening to. This will be shared on the podcast, the FitFemmes movement, and the free Facebook community, the FitFemmes tribe. So you can connect with me more if this sounds like something that might be of interest to you. But today I have a surprise for you. Gina is here and she's going to be doing something special. But first I want to tell you a little bit more about Gina. So she is an empowerment guide, an author, a speaker, a workshop host. She wears many hats, guys. She is a creator of the Tears and Tulle movement, and she has a women's empowerment picture book called Tears and Tulle. Gina uses art. Oh, there it is. Gina uses art, metaphors, and rainbow tools to help people all over the world remember their color. She loves eating batter straight from the mixing bowl. That sounds good. On an old wooden spoon, playing board games with her family, and stealing her husband's comfy socks. That sounds great. So she is busy these days writing Tears and Taffeta, the story of a boy in his ever-growing multicolored cape. Ooh, I can't wait to hear more about that. Gina is joining us from Chicago today. And she's a mother of 6 amazing kids. All right, Gina. So I'm going to hand it over to you. Tell us a little bit more about you. Tell us how you got started with this, this mission that you are on to empower women, and now, also boys with the newest book that you're working on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. Yes, a few years back, I'd always worn tulle skirts as an adult, but I was gifted this giant rainbow tulle skirt during a photo shoot, and I had paired it with a black top, and I didn't realize at the time that I was showing that I could be in a space of tears and connect with my color at the same time. So someone said, Gina, can you run in the skirt? And I fluffed up this giant rainbow tulle skirt, and I was in my bare feet, and I just took off down this abandoned overpass. And as I was running, it was like I was making space, like physically making space to connect with my dreams from within the sadness or darkness or struggles of life, because I had my husband was going to have brain surgery when I came home. He's doing great now. There were just a lot of things that were happening at the same time I was connecting with that magic. So I was on a mission after that to sort of help other people to connect with the idea of, connecting with that color from within whatever's happening in your life, because I think we can often wait until we're ready, and we're never ready. So we don't go out into the world with our color as much as we want to. So this movement, this mission, this kind of makes space for that idea.
I love that. What did you do before this? Were you working in something completely different?
Yeah, my husband will joke around all the time, because from the time I was like 14, until I was in my 20s, early 30s, I had so many different jobs. Like I was trying my hand at everything. And then I went to work for nonprofits as as a life coach and an empowerment guide there at places like Habitat for Humanity. And I realized that I, at one point, wanted to go out on my own and really connect with larger groups of people, you know, at bigger events and things like that, to try and reach as many as possible. So it kind of shifted a little bit for me. And gosh, I guess when I was little, I wanted to be a fence girl like my dad, because he put up fences when I was a kid. So that was the earliest, you know, memory of wanting to be something when I grew up. But after all those jobs, so many different things I tried my hand at, this is very aligned with my connection with the universe and what I want to do. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And this whole concept of empowerment, and I feel like, especially for women, I feel like over the past few years, there's really been this like breakthrough where women are asking for more. And there's this whole like, what's the word? There's this whole force sort of like inspiring women to get out there and to do the things that they want to do, to ask for more, to not be scared to ask for help. And it's so important, because I feel like, you know, we can look back at previous generations and it wasn't always that way. So I feel like, especially with your book, there's hope for the future. I have a daughter. She's still a baby, but you know, I really want things to be different for her. And I want her to grow up knowing that her and her brother, you know, they have similar opportunities and similar options and all that. And not just because she's a woman that she can't do things that she wants, the things that she wants to do, or things that, women shouldn't do, or women don't get to do. So that's really something that has personally made me really appreciate this whole movement of empowering women. And with what I do, it's just a tiny piece, right? Like there's so many important things that can help somebody up level, help somebody connect to their true self, become better versions of themselves. And I like to say that with a little bit of a caveat, because sometimes I feel like we're all okay the way that we are, right? Like there's no need for us to change who we are, but there's always a little bit of room for improvement, right? But with what I do, it's just a tiny piece of the puzzle of helping somebody have that, like, you know what, I am better. Like somebody can look back and be like, wow, I can't believe that used to hold me back. Like I am light years ahead now from where I used to be, where I used to let that thing hold me back, or I used to give up after that thing, or I used to not go after what I wanted. And fitness and health, it's important. It's really important. I'm really passionate about it. But you know, this is exactly why I have my podcast and why I have this live show, where I bring experts like you to fill those other gaps where women need help and they need inspiration, and they need somebody to look up to be like, oh, you know what, this is a different way of doing it, or this is a better way of doing it. So yeah, I'm so excited. So tell us, like, I kind of shared what empowerment means for me, or, you know, like why it's important for me, but why is being an empowerment guide important to you, and what does it mean to you?
Oh my gosh. It's important to me because I'm hoping that through my work, women especially will be able to connect with their magic sooner than I did. So if I can share my wisdom and the tools that I've gathered throughout the years, then you know, maybe things can move a little quicker for the next person, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then this idea of tool, like, I like to give a disclaimer before I read the book, because it's not the tool that we grow up with. It's not the bride's tool. It's not the ballerina tool. It's not even the princess tool, because those sort of fit into, you know, boxes in a way. This tool is deeper. It's more layered. It makes space, like you were just talking about. And it sort of gives us permission to stand in those places that scare us a little bit when we're going out into the world. So empowerment for me is often taking metaphors and connecting them to real things in life so that, anyone who's working with me or listening like today can see the world in a little different way, and connecting them with the real life things that are happening. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So I want you to read the book.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
all want to hear it. But just one more question before you start with that. Tell us a little bit about like what, I usually save this for the end, but I feel like I want to end with the book. But tell us a little bit more about like, how can somebody work with you? Like, what are the types of workshops that you do? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell people they can Google Tears and Tulle. There's nothing else like Tears and Tulle out there. So it's Tulle spelled Tulle. So it's not like a hammer, but it's the fabric. And if you go to ginabell.co, there's a whole Tears and Tulle tab there that will let people know. So the movement is following the original rainbow tulle skirt, but then there's these other projects that stemmed from that movement. So there's trailblazers and tribes. There are women sharing their own skirts in different places in the world. So there's a lot of fun things happening on my website. If you check it out, ginabell.co, there's no M at the end of that.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you want to type that out on the comment under the video when we are done, and I'm going to share everything in the show notes for the podcast as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I'm going to hand it over to Gina. And if anybody is watching, just try to pay attention for a few minutes and enjoy this book.
Yeah. So as I'm reading it, for anyone who's just listening on the podcast version of this, the girl is growing throughout the story. So she's growing, and the skirt is also going to grow. So you know what? Why this is so great for your podcast, because you can actually get up and physically do the moves in the book. So I encourage especially adult women to, actually do the moves when we get to that part.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Tears and Tulle, written by Gina Bell, illustrated by Elena Micheladas. Make sure I'm just going to adjust this a little bit to make sure I'm in here. There we go.
Good. Yep, I can see.
One day, a baby girl was born wearing a skirt made of tulle. It was bright and colorful, like a rainbow jewel. The skirt was invisible, seen just by the girl. She giggled happily, watching its wild colors swirl. The skirt connected the girl to her magic, color, and dreams. When she was full of tears, the skirt sent her heart joyful beams. As the girl grew and grew, the magical skirt did too. Soon she realized that life could be messy and unfair. She needed to remember that her skirt would always be there. She fluffed her skirt and jumped to her feet. She would wake up the skirt with her own special beat. Skip, dance, swish, twirl. Remember the spirit of that magical girl. Sometimes she felt scared, embarrassed, and like she didn't have a clue. So she fluffed her skirt and remembered the fun of trying something new. There were times she felt left out, misunderstood, and like she would never fit in. So she fluffed her skirt and remembered to be comfortable in her own skin. Skip, dance, swish, twirl. Remember the spirit of that magical girl. And when life was just too much and her eyes filled with tears, she fluffed her skirt and remembered she could learn from her fears. The tears made her wise and watered the dream in her heart. Fluffing her skirt, she remembered she was a growing work of art. Skip, dance, swish, twirl. Remember the spirit of that magical girl. And as she grew older, her days could feel overwhelming, crazy, and long. So she fluffed her skirt and remembered she was radiant, resilient, and strong. And sometimes it felt like her life was falling apart at the seams. So she fluffed her skirt and remembered she could always connect to her dreams. Skip, dance, swish, twirl. Remember the spirit of that magical girl. She celebrated her failures and the lessons they taught her along the way. She fluffed her skirt and remembered she had something important to say. She trusted the wisdom in her heart to help others grow, learn, and heal. Fluffing her skirt, she remembered her struggles made her beautiful and real. Skip, dance, swish, twirl. Remember the spirit of every magical girl. And then it says the story behind the skirt. Hi, my name's Gina Bell, and I'm the creator of Tears and Tulle, a women's empowerment movement that celebrates women who show up from within the chaos of everyday life to connect with their magic. In 2018, my life changed on an abandoned overpass in Orlando, Florida. I was wearing a simple black tank and the most magical rainbow-colored tulle skirt. I had purposely paired the colorful skirt with a black t-shirt to relay a special message to myself and people everywhere. We don't need to wait for life's perfect set of circumstances to connect with our extraordinary color. My purpose with the Tears and Tulle movement is to reconnect women with their joy and color, even during life's darkest moments. It may sound strange, but the rainbow skirt woke up something wonderful in me. I want women everywhere to experience what I did, a clarifying moment of vulnerability, magic, and happiness. A year and a half after that day on the overpass, I launched Tears and Tulle. I'm sharing the rainbow skirt with 52 people over 52 weeks as a way to inspire women everywhere to reconnect with their color, the tulle, from within the darkness, the tears of real life. While organizing the movement, I learned that my friend and rainbow tulle skirt designer, Cass Youngs, had always hoped that one day one of her creations would travel the world. She loved that our two ideas would become one. Each woman in the movement is asked to pair the skirt with something black, make their unique magic in it, and share their Tears and Tulle story with the world. Time after time, participants have shared how much love and positive energy the rainbow skirt radiates. And many participants use their time with the skirt to reflect on their greatest struggles. That's what Tears and Tulle is all about, embracing our perfectly imperfect lives. The end.
Oh, that was so nice. I love it.
Thanks.
And I love how it's great for, it could be for a child, but it also, like, a grown woman can totally connect with it and get the message from reading the story. So congratulations, Gina. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a labor of love. It was written for me, and then so I would remember my own magic. And then, of course, for my children who are now 17 to 23 years old, and and then for the world. So I think that it's definitely an all ages story.
Yes, that's wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to share with us before we wrap this up?
I would just invite everyone to think of an even when, especially then moment. And those are the Tears and Tulle moments of our lives. So I invite everyone to, if you're listening, think of how you fit into the story today. So the even when, especially thens go something like this. I am capable even when I forget the Netflix password, especially then. And we always end the sentence with especially then so that we could make space even when things are really hard. So I am something positive, even when something that's a tears moment. And then we end it with especially then.
I love that. I'm going to try to start using that going forward. So
Awesome.
That's a great takeaway. And I hope that anybody watching or listening to this is also going to remember to use that very powerful statement and a great way to reframe something that maybe you struggle with. You put it into that statement, and watch your whole outlook change. So thank you, Gina, for sharing that and for sharing your book and your story with us. And ladies, remember, empowerment, it's in your hands. You have the power already. You just have to use it. And if you need support, if you need Gina's support, please connect with her. If you would like my support, if you need some help getting in shape and you want an expert to help you, connect with me. And we will see you guys again for the next episode. Make sure you're tuning into the Fit Femmes Movement podcast. And I will talk to you guys all later. Thank you again, Gina.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Fit Femmes Movement. I would love to hear your thoughts on the podcast, so please leave us a review. And sharing is caring. If you know someone who may benefit from this episode, please share it with them. We need more women up-leveling to their highest selves with grace, courage, and ease. If you'd like to connect with me more and have access to free live trainings and join a community of hundreds of other amazing women, then join my free Facebook group, the Fit Femmes Tribe.